So anyway, but she sends her love to everyone, especially our first honoree tonight, Jim Argir, because she has known Jim for so many years. Let me just tell you a little something about Jim that you won't read anywhere else. Jim taught me how to swim. It's true. Willingly. He didn't have to pull me up by the back of my hair at Doug Pond, as others have before him. But it was the Natick Country Club 100 years ago. And I was taking swimming lessons, and this hunk was teaching the swimming lessons. And you know what? You still are, honey. You're a hunk. And it's okay. His whole family knows we have a thing. He is one of the few I did not marry. Let me just tell you a little something about my friend Jim, class of 1956, being honored tonight for being, to say he's a contributor just doesn't even cover it. He is a lifetime contributor to the Natick Public Schools and athletics. From 1981 to 82, he was the president of the Natick Memorial Field Lighting Committee, which raised funds to light and irrigate the football field, practice field, soccer field, and also the parking areas. He chaired the committee for the John Carroll Plaque at Memorial Field, co-chaired the Doug Flutie Day Parade and Mall event. He chaired the fundraising committee for the Natick High School 1982 and 83 Super Bowl championship team jackets, the rings, the cheerleader necklaces, as well as 2 banquets. Named the John N. Carroll Baseball Complex at Mahan Field in 2002 to 2008, he was president of the John Carroll Memorial Scholarship and the Golf Classic Tournament Foundation. Also a former member of the Natick Athletic Hall of Fame Selection Committee. Essentially, there is nothing when Jim Argir is asked to which he says no. And please help me honor and thank him tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Argir.
Jim Argir, from the class of 1956, has been a lifetime contributor to the Natick Public Schools and Natick Athletics. From 1981 to 1982, he was the president of the Natick Memorial Field Lighting Committee, which raised funds to light and irrigate the football field, practice field, soccer field, and parking areas. He chaired the committee for the John N. Carroll Plaque at Memorial Field. He co-chaired the Doug Flutie Day Parade and Mall event. Jim Argir chaired the fundraising committee for the Natick High School 1982 and 1983 Super Bowl champion teams, jackets, rings, cheerleaders, necklaces, and 2 banquets. From 2002 to 2008, he was the president of the John N. Carroll Memorial Scholarship and Golf Classic Tournament Foundation and was instrumental in naming the John N. Carroll Baseball Complex at Mahan Field. Jim Argir is also a former member of the Natick Athletic Hall of Fame Selection Committee. 2012 Natick High School Athletic Hall of Fame inductee from the class of 1956, Jim Argir.
Well, thank you, Susan. Kirk and the members of the Hall of Fame committee, you certainly have outdone yourself. You've continued all the hard work in bringing this group together. And congratulations to this year's deserving fellow inductees. They're really legends, and I'm very proud to be included with such an outstanding and legendary group of inductees. You have certainly added so much to Natick's rich fiber and reputation as the home of champions and the Natick Redmen. You know, it's very easy to work hard and persistently for something worthwhile that will enrich our community and certainly will promote the ideals, traditions, and the Natick spirit. I believe in Natick wholeheartedly, and of course, Susan just took all of my thunder, but that's all right. I'm so proud to hear all of the coaches that have been inducted and the mentors we've had. Natick has just had such a rich culture, and it's a community that, you know, I'm really pleased to be a part of all my life and serve wherever I could, because, you know, people have put a lot of time and effort into the facilities. We have great contributors in terms of financially fact, I've gotten to know all the bank presidents real well, and they've been just incredible. Every time we walk in the door, it's, how much is this going to cost me, Jim? You know, but it's when we got the first Super Bowl jackets and rings and pendants for the cheerleaders, it was $25,000 had to be raised in a very short period of time. People came through like champs, and of course, I decided that one time I was going to give the banks a chance to just relax because they're being hit up for everything. So we had a new bank that came in where Optica is on Main Street. It was a branch of a bank, I think Norwood Savings. Well, Norwood had won the Super Bowl the year before, and I had heard that the bank had given them $20,000. So we were looking for 25 because we picked out jackets that the kids are still choosing to use now, you know, with the leather arms and insulated and the whole thing. So I went over to the bank manager and asked him, I said, you know, you're a new guy in town, you want to get established. I says, how would you like to make a contribution to our Natick Super Bowl team? You know, it was a big deal. And he says, oh, geez, he says, what are you looking for? I said, I don't know, $25,000 would be a big help. And I said, it's going to be kind of expensive. And he said, oh, geez, we're just a branch. He says, I said, well, I know that the home office did that in Norwood last year. So he says, well, look, let me give a call, but he says, don't hold out any hope. So I went home, and in 45 minutes, my phone rang, and he says, Mr. Argir, I don't believe this is happening. He says, the president agreed to give you the $25,000. Well, I said, oh, great, you know, this is going to cut down all the solicitation. Well, the first thing I do, Bob Potter calls from Middlesex Savings, Jim, you know, we're on the Recreation Commission together. He says, what are you doing? I says, what? I'm trying to give you guys a break. Don Guile from Natick Trust calls, Jim, you know, what's going on? He says, you always have come here, and we've been very fair and have contributed. And then Brian Peoples called. Same thing. I says, holy mackerel. And they were upset. So I said, well, look, the cheerleaders wanted pendants, and I didn't have that budgeted. So I said, there's something you can do about the pendants. And I said, we haven't covered the banquet. So I said, there's some, you know, somebody can come up with that. So they all, you know, chipped in, and they were happy. And I said, geez, it's the first time that I thought we were doing them a favor, and they came through. But I just have to, I wanted to mention that I'm very proud of all of our teams and the people that are being inducted. And I'd like to give a special thank you to my family for all their support and patience, especially to my wife of 49 years, who, you know, enabled me to do the types of things that we're able to get involved with. And I'm sure that she's with us in spirit and smiling. So in closing, I'd just like to say, again, thank you for this wonderful honor and tribute. I am most humbly grateful, and may God bless you all, and good luck and good health to all of our new inductees. Thank you.